Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is John Whaley. He is the co-founder and CEO at Redcoat AI. John, fantastic to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Great to be here, yes.
So John, I want to start off by talking about Redcoat AI. Tell me about the company and its mission.
So Redcoat AI, we are the cybersecurity vendor for the new Gen AI world. I think with generative AI, you've seen a lot of changes in a lot of different industries, but especially around cybersecurity, and none more obvious in the area of social engineering. Right. Whereas in the past, it was kind of easy to tell if somebody is doing a social engineering attack, bad grammar, lack of specifics, things like that. Now, with the advent of large language models and generative AI, you can now make highly fluent, perfectly fluent, and highly targeted attacks. Not only with text, but also with voice and now video as well. I think you may have seen, some of the recent attacks, like even $25 million wired because somebody thought they were talking to the CFO. It was not the CFO, it was actually a deepfake. So that's the place where we're starting with Redcoat AI. Tackling the problem of social engineering, especially these new style of attacks that are happening, that are powered by generative AI.
All right, and tell me, how are you different from others that are in this space?
So the major difference that we do is that our technology is actually built on large language models itself. So we're using generative AI for good in this case. And so instead of just looking for particular words, we're actually able to classify the intent of the messages and behind it. And so we have two products. One is called Defender, where you can bring any type of message, either message or conversation, and we can very accurately determine, is this some type of social engineering scam, or is this the message benign, right? And we also have another product called Pretender, and that's a phishing, a spear phishing simulation. So you can give it anybody's profile. They can actually make a deepfake version of that person, and you can use it for simulated phishing attacks. It's kind of like to be able to inoculate your workforce, and it's like a vaccine, right? You test your workforce out, and then so that when the real attack comes, then they'll be ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now tell me, what are you focused on? What are your priorities as you look to the year ahead?
Yeah, so it's all about customers right now. I mean, we're in election year this year. There's going to be a lot of cybersecurity incidents, and especially ones that are powered by generative AI. And so we're focused on customers going out and selling our product suite today, and just helping to protect customers, from these new threats that are caused by generative AI. Looking forward as well, it's not just around the human element in social engineering. Generative AI opens up like a large number of changes, into the cybersecurity landscape. Now, many of these companies are going to be deploying new applications that are powered by generative AI, and I think as you've seen that there's been some challenges in doing that so far. Things like jailbreaks and other type of things where when you deploy this type of applications, it can lead to liability for the company. So as moving forward, we're also going to be tackling those type of problems as well.
All right, and finally, John, tell me, what are your thoughts on the future of AI?
So I'm in a very privileged position because I'm on the faculty at Stanford and in the computer science department, and I teach one of the hottest classes there, which is building applications using large language models. And not only that, but I also help to run one of the hottest AI accelerators called Inception Studio. And so because of that, I get to see a lot of what's going on in the space of AI and large language models. I think right now to be honest, there's a lot of hype around AI and LLMs and generative AI. And and there's a bubble that's happening, and so there's a lot of funds that are coming in, right? That being said, I'm convinced there's going to be at least $1 trillion company and multiple $100 billion companies that are being formed right now, in generative AI. And of course, you have the big ones. You have OpenAI and Anthropic and Mistral and others. But I think some of the really interesting innovations are going to be coming from startups and early stage companies, and that are going to be some of these future leaders that are going to come and ring the bell here, in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
All right, well, John, fantastic to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Great to be here. Thanks.
Thank you.